Hello and welcome. This is Matthias 76. Together, we are decoding the deception. And from the thumbnail, and you've clicked on this video, so you know what the title was. But if you didn't know, you would know that we're back in Revelation just from this thumbnail. And we are looking at the second beast, the beast from the earth. The first beast is the beast from the sea. The second beast is every bit as much a beast, but at the same time, very different. And we're going to look into that. I'm going to talk about some interesting things that I think get missed fairly often, but just a reminder here with where we are. We're in the seven visions. So with the seven visions, it starts with the vision of the woman and the dragon. That's the gospel story, the coming of Christ, his birth, life, resurrection, defeat of Satan. That is followed with Satan being cast down. Satan is cast down out of heaven. Then follows the beast. And once he's down on earth, it says he stood at the shore of the sea. And there out comes the beast from the sea. Very important imagery here, imagery connected to the worldview of the people of this day, okay? The sea was chaos, the sea was scary, the sea was where Leviathan came from, and we, honestly, we deceive ourselves into thinking that the sea is something other than that. It is a scary place. We just don't expose ourselves to its dangers all that often. What do sailors miss? What do sojourners on the sea, they're out there for a long time, and what is it they wish they had under their feet? They wish they had terra firma, just solid ground, something that isn't constantly moving and potentially moving a lot, like the deck they're standing on in a ship that is being moved, sometimes gently, sometimes violently by the ocean. They want terra firma. So from the sea, we've got this terrible, awful beast. And we talked in the last video, that beast is secular and civil government. I do want to say here, make it very clear. The fact that the Pope in Rome is the Antichrist and a horrible force of evil in this world, that does not mean that all Catholics are unbelievers. Quite the contrary. There is a very happy inconsistency. Even in and need to say this too, the official doctrine of Catholicism is that anyone who teaches that you're saved by grace alone, through Christ alone, is damned to hell eternally. They say it numerous times in numerous places in their official dogma. Okay? Thankfully, people sitting in the pew, people hear the Word of God, and the Word of God still has its effect, and souls are saved. The dogmaticians, that means guys who like to categorize everything back in the old days, dogmaticians called that, it's a Latin term, felicitous inconsistency, a happy felicitous, a happy inconsistency. You can have people in a church that's teaching these things, although they usually don't come right out and teach it. They don't. But you can have people in that church who are saved, who were brought to faith in Jesus Christ, just as we are through the Word, just as we all are through the Word. But it comes out of the earth. Unlike the other beast coming out of the sea, you expect scary things from the sea. You do not expect scary things from the earth. This should be familiar. This should be known. This should be reliable. It's terra firma. After all, if that's its source, it has to be okay. And it even has two horns like a lamb. Two horns like a lamb. Now, we have said on numerous occasions that Christ is referred to most commonly in the book of Revelation as a lamb. It's 30 times that it is used for Jesus. The word lamb appears 31 times. That 31st time that it appears, not sequentially, but the one that doesn't refer to Christ is the one who's pretending to be Christ. You notice it has two horns like a lamb. Here, this is for the beast from the earth. It is for the Antichrist, the one in the place of Christ. So it looks like a lamb, but it spoke like a dragon. It speaks as its master directs it. Ergo, you get the horrible official doctrines that I mentioned earlier. I landed on the Jesuits. Yes, those Jesuits, the ones who do all that education, the ones who run those educational institutions. You can list them off, all the institutions that are Jesuits. The Jesuits, the ones for whom Bill Gates with his billions is constantly building high schools. Don't hear about that one. The Jesuits, more than Skull and Bones, more than the CFR or the Trilateralist Commission, more than anything else, far more than the Masonic Order. The Jesuits are the capital T, capital H, capital E, the secret society. They are it. They were founded by Ignatius Loyola for the express purpose of eradicating the Reformation. They are satanic to the core. Their initiation rituals, what Ignatius Loyola openly wrote about, how he came to have this power and insight that he has, and they are the sworn servants, secret servants of, guess who? Whom do they answer? The papacy. Whoever is the Pope. That's what they do. And they make it very clear when you look at the things they've written, the things they've said, they will play any role. They will put on any guise to further their cause. They will live their lives pretending to be something that they're not, and no one would ever know it. Okay? But then sometimes with different people, I've found out, oh, that's where he went to school. Oh, he was a Rhodes Scholar at a Jesuit institution. Okay? The Jesuits will do anything to further their cause. They will lie. It is just like many other horrible secret orders. They believe that anything that they do, any horrible act, is just fine as long as they can infiltrate all the significant organizations and institutions of this world and gain control over them and use them to their ends. That's what they say about themselves. That's what Ignatius Loyola and all of his disciples since then have said about themselves. That's who they are. And here's the other thing that really stood out very clearly to me. How much do you hear about the Jesuits, other than that they build schools? How much do you hear about them? Not much at all. The scariest secret society on the block, nobody talks about. The one to whom they all answer, nobody talks about. Okay? And to whom do they answer? Whom do they serve? They serve the beast of the earth who looks like a lamb but speaks like a dragon. And the things I just described, the things that they say about themselves, and I'm going to post some video links in the description down below so you can go and study this stuff for yourself. Doesn't it sound like they'll look like a lamb but speak like a dragon? Deception. So now, with that, and it's a very quick little summation there, we'll read verse 12 again. The lamb that is really a dragon, the beast from the earth, it exercises all the authority of the first beast. They infiltrate everything. They're everywhere in its presence, on its behalf. It exercises all the authority of the first beast on its behalf. The one serves the other. Let's go back and look at whoever came up with this graphic. They had the right idea. This little guy down here in big part is holding this big scary beast up here up. It stands on his shoulder. It exercises all the authority of the first beast on its behalf and makes the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast whose mortal wound was healed. We adore power. It's addictive. We respect it. We stand in awe of power and might and political will, all of those things. And that's exactly what you see the inhabitants of the earth, makes the earth and the inhabitants, the earth's inhabitants, worship the first beast. Because when you worship the first beast, you're worshiping the one that beast serves. And who was it who called it out from the sea? It is Satan. It does his bidding. So when you see the horrible, awful things that governments do, even our own, and you read what the word says, we kind of go, okay, that figures. I guess that figures. It makes me sad. It's disgusting. It's vile. Part of the big part that's difficult, the hardest part of being a conspiracy analyst, is letting go of things that you once held to be immutable, absolutely true, and to see things as they really are. So the ideal that I had of what this country, the United States, was, yeah, I still revere that. It just didn't exist. It was a myth. It was a lie perpetrated by these beasts to deceive me into paying taxes, to deceive me into supporting war, to deceive me into all kinds of evil, vile things and supporting it because it was for the greater good. You have to give all that up. You have to realize what it is and say, okay, I'm still okay. I'm still okay, because the truth never came from the founding fathers. The truth never came from any of them. It comes from the Lamb, the real Lamb, not the one that's like a lamb. And as long as I'm with him, as long as I am a citizen of his kingdom, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I'm okay to look at all this stuff and see it for what it is and still be at peace, still be totally at peace, because I know whose I am and I know whom I serve. All right, we're going to stop there. We're going to keep going because there's still a lot more to talk about with the second beast. We will get to it next time, getting into all that 666 stuff and all those things that, boy, it's not the rock and roll stuff we thought it was. I'll just tease with that, but we will pick up there the next time. I encourage you, go out to our website, decodingthedeception.com. You'll find links to a whole lot of good information out there. You'll find the playlist for all our Bible videos out there. Make sure and make use of that resource. This is Matthias 76. Together, we are decoding the deception. God bless and have a great day.